All right, guys, let's talk about leverage trading. This is something that, like, pretty much every investor does temporarily and ends up fucking up and just losing all their money on. And if you can avoid leverage trading as someone who hasn't really experimented with it yet, if you can watch this video and just decide for yourself, I will listen to Daniel and not ever do leverage trading, then you will do very well in crypto. Leverage trading is a pursuit that has a 99.9% failure rate. And in life, if you want to succeed at anything, you have to pick things that you have a high chance of winning at, right? How many universes did the thing that you pick pull off? How many universes did the thing that you do right now turn you into a millionaire? If the answer is like 1 out of a million universes, then you shouldn't be doing that, because then it's pretty much just luck, right? When the probability of something happening in your favor is so low, when it does happen in your favor, there's pretty much just luck, right? If it wasn't luck, it would have happened more often. But because it was such a rare chance, that it was such a low chance that you pull it off, it's pretty much largely down to luck, or an insane amount of work ethic that is just not worth the time. If you want to be a trader, you have a 0.1% chance of making it work. If you want to be an investor, every single person can make money investing. If you just buy and hold the stock market in S&P, it'll go up eventually. You will make money, okay? In crypto, you invest in Bitcoin when it's low. You will make money, okay? So my goal, and I want to talk about how this leverage trading things also relates to market cycles, but in this video, I want to explain to you like a little bit on the advantages and disadvantages of trading. I actually go into a lot more depth later in the course on how to be a profitable trader for those who want to do it, but I want to discourage you and give you a bit of a brief overview in this video. So in theory, all of you look at trading, leverage trading, and it makes a lot of sense. You use, less money and you make more money. That's at least what it looks like on paper. You get access to more money than you could otherwise have. If you got $5,000 to trade with, you now got $50,000, and you feel like you've got all this money without needing a loan from the bank, right? They just give you money. You can get higher returns seemingly, as you see 300% gains, on your account when you make, a 10x leverage position. Even though it was only a 30% gain, it looks like 300%. Wow. But unfortunately, in practice, in the reality of the world, this couldn't be further from the truth. None of this is true. Leverage trading for 99% of people is going to lead to the destruction of their portfolios. So let me show you why this is going to happen. So I did a little table. Here is the advantages and disadvantages of leverage trading and spot trading. Now, I honestly recommend don't trade altogether, and I'm going to cover that in a later video. But look, just for the sake of showing you guys why you should avoid leverage, just leverage by itself, let's look at it. So the advantage of leverage trading is two things. It's increased capital efficiency and reduced counterparty risk. So if you put $100 onto Binance and you have 5x leverage, you don't have to put $500 onto Binance now. You only have to put 100. So if Binance goes down, you lose all your money. You only lost the $100. So you have reduced. So that's reduced counterparty risk, right? Now, increased capital efficiency. Let's say you put $100 on Binance as well. That $400 that you don't have to put on Binance because you're using 5x leverage, you can take that $400 and you can go put it somewhere else and grow money there. So you're growing money. You're growing. You've technically now got $500 on Binance that you're growing, and you've got $400 that you're growing somewhere else. So you're technically almost growing $900, and you don't even have $900. You got $500. Or sorry, you go around I don't know if the numbers are exact, but that's the idea, right? That's at least the advantage. You can be more capital efficient. So let's say you've got a 10% yield farming operation. You put the money in that, and then you only have to trade with $100, and you get 10% a year doing nothing. Now, that's the two advantages, and that's the only real advantages of leverage trading. The disadvantages are massive. So leverage trading is very emotional because they've designed it to be incredibly casino-like. They show you the profit numbers, the percent gain, the colors, the flashing lights of the order book orders getting filled, the fucking sounds when you buy and sell things, the layout of the dashboard, it all just looks like a gambling site because they don't want you to make money and they want you to trade more. They want you to get addicted to opening and closing positions. The more you trade, the more they make from fees. So emotions are dialed up because trading is leverage trading, like using derivatives, using leverage. It looks different to when you do just buying Bitcoin on Binance, right? If you just buy Bitcoin, it doesn't give you a big profit and loss number. It just says, oh, this is what your money's worth now. It doesn't go, oh, you made $500. It goes, oh, you've just got $500 now, or $600, right? So it's a very different emotional game. Also, it's just weird when you use leverage. It just fucks with your head. Like if you're to compare how hard it is to trade with $1,000 or $100 at 10x leverage, it is significantly harder to trade with $100 with 10x leverage. Even though you're using the same money technically, you've got the same risk. You know, if price goes down 10% and you hold $1,000, you lose 100. If price goes down 10% and you have $100 with 10x leverage, you lose $100. The risk and the reward is the exact same, yet it's so much harder to use leverage. And also, people often use leverage to get access to more money, but that's not the point of leverage. The point of leverage is to be able to trade with less money. The only two advantages of leverage are being able to trade with less money and being able to risk less money, right? It's all about less. Everyone talks about trading leverage for more. No. Also, with leverage trading, you tend to pay higher fees. Also, sometimes you pay funding to, have the privilege to have a position stay open. So you're trying to make this money being more capital efficient, but you end up paying more fees, so you offset any of the capital efficiency gains. Also, faster paced trading. So with leverage, you have less wiggle room, you have less downside volatility that you can handle because, if you have 10x leverage, you get liquidated when price goes down 10%. So you have a much smaller range of volatility that you can handle technically on the position, meaning you can get liquidated, meaning that you have less wiggle room essentially. And it's faster paced trading because you have to adapt more to what the market's doing. And also, generally, you have to have tighter stop losses. Now, some people, what they do is they'll do 50x leverage, and the liquidation is their stop loss. So they'll say, 50x leverage, price has to go down 2% for me to get liquidated. I'll put in $100. Liquidation is my stop loss. But I don't know. I just don't think it's worthwhile. Why not just put the full amount in and put a 10% stop loss or something, or 5% stop loss? It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's just because of these disadvantages, right? So let's look at the advantages and disadvantages of spot trading, just buying and selling. Well, it's less emotional, so you have a higher win rate, which means you make more money. You have position sizing, which is really clear, straightforward, and easy to execute. So this strategy is more accessible to more people. There's no liquidation risk, so you're given more wiggle room on the position. Like you can handle more volatility in the position, meaning that it gives you more wiggle room, right? Lower fees, and it's generally higher time frame, so it decreases the difficulty and increases the hit rate. So trade anything related to markets, the larger your time frame, the easier it is to make money. The higher the probability that you make money because everything goes up over time. So eventually it'll just end up being a profit over time, but because of inflation. But generally, the lower the time frame, the harder it is to make money. But there's obviously exceptions and things. People say it's easier to predict things on a lower time frame, but honestly, my opinion is the shorter the time frame the position's open for, the harder it's going to be to guarantee that you make a profit or to increase the win rate. So spot trading, you increase your time frame, generally you can do well. You can have a higher chance of winning. So here is the net outcome of what we just talked about. Leverage trading is significantly more difficult to execute and thus less profitable. The disadvantages for 99% of people outweigh the small upside. So for 99 people out of 100, the downsides that I just listed here do not make these two small advantages worthwhile. There is 1% of people who don't experience this downside, who get a lot of value from this upside, and thus those people, it makes sense for. Especially because these people who get, a lot of value from this tend to have lots more money. If you have $400,000, capital efficiency and counterparty risk is more important. If you're trying to trade with $2,000, which is what most people do, you're being a dummy. What's the risk? Oh, I lost my $2,000. Blah. It's nothing. losing 2 grand is very different to losing 400 grand. So that's generally, you know, the net outcome of how it works. Now, if you suck at trading and you have 400 grand, that doesn't mean, oh, it's now suddenly worthwhile. No, you should still avoid leverage. Now, how this relates back to